Hello everyone, my name is Joseph. I'm Papa Joe's oldest son. This is my wife Crystal from the Philippines. We have recorded a video for you guys. This is our second intro that we're recording. This is after the fact, but we wanted to let you know that we've got hopefully an easy guide for you guys on how to do Filipino Lumpia. It is not exactly the traditional way. We're taking the easy way and we're using a food processor.
It's the best.
Yeah, and we also added a little bit more of seasoning to it to make it more of a spicy Cajun type lumpia roll, and it was very delicious. We made a couple mistakes in the video that you will see. You're going to see that I put too much oil in the pot the first go around. Had to reduce that in order to get the lumpia to stop from flipping back over so she can brown both sides. What was the other error I made? Oh, make sure that you address your lumpia wrappers.
Yeah.
They can be a little bit challenging, so watch that. If you're planning on doing lumpia, thaw it in the fridge 24 hours before you cook it. That's the easiest way, because the way we did it, we used frozen ones and thawed it as we were cooking the lumpia mixture, and that just turned out to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
But if you would, please watch the video, like and subscribe. Tell us your comments on us. If you want more Filipino videos, encourage us and let us know. Show us those likes and show us those comments. All right, hope you enjoy the video. So, thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye. All right, first we are browning the meat. We have 1.5 pounds of pork here. It can be any type of meat, whatever your favorite meat is. We are using pork because that's traditionally what they use in the Philippines. And that's what Crystal says tastes the best. So, you guys know how to brown meat. Over here, Crystal is doing 1/2 cup of green onions, which are those. She is going to do a 1/4 cup of garlic, so she's going to do fresh garlic. Say hello, Crystal.
Hello.
She's being shy. All right, over here I have roughly 2 cups of carrots that I've put in my blender to process up. It's a lot easier. Some Filipinos will use carrot strips instead. Also, we are going to add 2 onions, just regular onions. Then we are also going to add in some cabbage, and then we have our lumpia rolls.
Show them.
All right, this is what we are going to use it. You can find this at your Asian market in the frozen section. We've got 3 of these because we're doing a fairly large batch. You will also need you're going to deep fry these. So after you roll them and wrap them, you're going to deep fry them. So make sure you have at least, 1/2 gallon of oil or so that you can deep fry these in. You could also use your Fry Daddy, but we don't have one. All right, now with the grease left over from the pork, I am just sauteing my vegetables. So like I said, we got about 2 cups of finely chopped carrots, and we got the spring onions. We're just going to let them sit here and saute until they get nice and done. And then in a minute, Crystal is going to add in the garlic once she's done chopping it. We do the garlic last because it's very easy to overcook and burn. Isn't that right, Crystal?
Yeah.
We've done that. We've had that experiment happen. So we've learned to put that in last. So we'll bring you back in a little bit. All right, this is our carrots, garlic, green onions, and now she's adding the rest of that little head of cabbage. We processed it up. And we're just going to keep sauteing it. And keep in mind, this is just stuff, no oil's been added. This is only using the extra grease left over from the ground pork. So if you're using something like turkey that does not have much grease, or if you're using something like beef that's got a lot of beef and water, just do it by your best judgment. All right, we'll be back. All right, so a couple other things we are getting ready to do is you see black pepper is added. You can add whatever seasonings you want, but we used a little bit of ground pepper, and she's getting ready to add in 1/4 cup of soy sauce. Do this towards the end because the alcohol in the soy sauce will evaporate. But also, if you have high blood pressure, soy sauce has a lot of sodium in it, so just be aware and read your health facts.
And then water, right?
We'll add a little bit of water, yes.
1/4.
1/4 cup of water to this next. So one of the things you guys can do is after you add the water and the soy sauce to it is put a lid on it and let it just simmer for a little while. You want to make sure those carrots and the cabbage and everything that you're sauteing down there gets nice and cooked. Then we'll add in the meat back into the mixture. We're going to stir it all together. Then you have to set it aside to completely cool before you put it into the wrappers. So, all right, we've now let it saute and simmer, however you want to classify the terminology. We're adding 1.5 pounds of pork right now. The recipe calls for 1 pound, but we're doing a little bit larger. And you're just going to fully integrate it, let all the flavors work together, and you're going to pull it aside and let it cool. And now, if you have frozen ones like these, like I was showing you earlier, so 2 of the ways to thaw these, if they're completely frozen, the recommended way is in a refrigerator overnight before you use it.
For 24 hours.
For 24 hours, or you can leave it on your countertop for 30 minutes, but don't open the seal. These dry out really easily, so what they tell you to recommend, let it thaw for 30 minutes on your countertop. When you open it, have a moist towel to put over it as you're pulling them out and using it, because it's going to dry out. Once these dry out and you start rolling them, they start cracking. If you have a dry spot on it, one of the things you can do is just wet your finger like when you seal it and just re-soften that part of the roll. Crystal, you're making a mess.
Sorry.
See, Rose, you're not the only one that's shy. Crystal's shy of the camera too.
I'm not.
You're not? Then why don't you say hi to everyone? Yeah, it's starting to smell good, guys. All right, we'll bring you back in a little bit. All right, so we're opening up our spring rolls, and this is something you'll see, sadly, is the top one will, move your hand, will often be, move your hand, will often be cracked and dry from it being packaged. So we're just taking it off and we're going to start peeling them. So there's 2 schools of thought when you're doing your spring rolls, or lumpia as it's called in the Philippines. You can use either water or egg whites to seal your lumpias. Crystal says she prefers egg whites, so I have separated 2 different egg whites. We've got our filling, we've got a whole bunch of lumpia wrappers, and we are just going to start wrapping. So I'll show you in a minute how to do that. In good Filipino fashion and culture, gotta have your red horse on hand for the wrapping to keep the missus happy.
Oh no.
It's a good beer. Problem is it's very hard to find in the United States. You guys should try it. It's like a Miller Lite type of beer. So unfortunately, since we're not using fresh spring roll wrappers, the first top 2 were very freezer burnt and we couldn't really use it. So
because it's cracked.
Because it's cracked. So that's what those are. So basically, you're going to set it with the triangle pointing towards you. It's about 2 tablespoons of filling. Wrap it over. This is just like rolling a burrito. All right. Fold it. Fold it. wrap it, roll it over once, and then you're going to use, or twice, and then you're going to use the egg whites or water to seal it. All right, and then it's going to go over here, and we are going to wait. Now, literally, this bowl is going to make a lot of lumpia. Yeah. So we're not even going to start our oil heating up. This is a big serving spoon, so that's actually 2 normal tablespoons. So we just use 1 scoop of it. Work smarter, not harder. All right, so we'll let you watch that one more time. You see the steam? It's not quite all the way cooled off, so it shouldn't be an issue. It just makes it hot on the fingertips when you're rolling it. Now, what Crystal was saying is in the Philippines, you'll normally have 2 or 3 people wrapping this. It'll be a family event. Mom, everyone's in there rolling lumpia.
Yeah, while talking.
While talking and social and gossip.
Gossip?
No.
Just like this. See? Looks pretty if the wrapper is not cracked.
So what age did you start rolling lumpia at?
I don't know, I think college days.
Oh, so you were old. So this is similar to some of my Hispanic friends that they say that when they're doing tamales or, you know, enchiladas and a couple other things, they will all be in the kitchen doing it all together. So.
And then when I was in Davao with my cousin, we were doing this.
Yeah.
Only 2 of us.
The problem is it takes a long time, a lot of effort to make it, and it gets inhaled in no time.
Yeah, right.
I know for an American, I really love them. It's not, since the cabbage is so small, it's not like the egg rolls that you'll get in some Asian stores. And it's actually really good, especially once it's deep fried. So
you will like deep fry this all of this like 4 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, you're going to deep fry it until it's all golden brown. We'll show you that in a little bit. All right, I was put to work. Crystal told me instead of playing with the camera and talking, I needed to help peel lumpia paper so she could wrap it. So I'm sitting here trying to tease them apart, and it's challenging with one hand.
There we go. Perfect.
Crystal, hold this and let me show them how to hold it right there. So they stick together
because it's frozen.
Because they're frozen, and you just got to slowly ease them apart. You don't want to get in a rush.
So that one get.
Yep, and they come apart like that.
Yeah.
Alright guys, it's an adventure learning to cook Filipino food, but it sure is delicious. Okay guys, we are on the second package of spring rolls. This one, because we were stupid and we had them stacked, this was the middle one, and it didn't thaw as good as the others. And we will wind up did is we just microwaved it on defrost for 30 seconds, flipped it over, and that seems to have worked really good. The top one was a little dry, which I say is probably from the microwave or freezer burnt, but just be slow and patient as she is here, and you will get it. And yep, just add a little bit of water to it in tough spots. That pulls right up. We have probably about 30 lumpia there, and we've got the oil going. I'll show you that in a second.
Show the oil.
Yep. So here's the oil. It's preheating right now. We've got roughly about 1.5 inches of oil in a large skillet. And we're bringing it up to roughly 350 to 375 degrees, I think closer to 350 Fahrenheit. And we're just going to set 6 of them in here, cook them, flip them over, and then they'll be done. You want to let them go until they're golden brown. Since everything inside has already been sauteed and cooked, you're just basically frying the wrapper and sealing it all together. And you typically serve this hot, and it's delicious. And she's rolling the last one. We think we have roughly 40 lumpia. We did 1 package and a half, and they're each 25. So we have, you know, roughly about 5 or 6 left right there. So that is the last one getting sealed now. How hard was it, baby?
It's not hard. It's just I want more.
So 40 lumpia is not enough for you and I.
It's a piece of cake. Yeah.
All right. So putting them in here. So what I've got set up here is this is, I don't know the official name of that thing. I use it as a drip tray. When we're cooking these, we'll just set them on there to cool, and all the excess grease will drip to the bottom. It's a lot easier than trying to do a wire rack and then put a towel or something under it, and it just gets all kinds of a mess. This is a 2-part contraption with a closed bottom at the bottom. If you guys know the name of that, put it in the comment below, because I'd be interested to know the actual name of it. I know it's for in the oven. Alright, we'll show you when we're done. We got a long ways to go. As you see, she's just putting them in there. The grease is roughly about 350 degrees right now. So by the time she gets it full, she'll be flipping over the first ones. And don't overfill it, and don't rush it. Burnt oil, or getting burnt with oil, really hurts.
It's enough. Flip it now. Oh no! Like that. Don't be silly, you thing. Woo!
Careful. So.
The one is just like you.
Stubborn? Thanks.
Yeah, there you go. Oh my, no!
Just split the others. Let it be.
See, you're very stubborn.
Normally this is done in a much deeper pot, but we decided to go shallow. So.
See, just like you. Behave!
If you have suggestions on how to do this better, give us some advice. This is our first time doing it here. But
Well, what I can suggest is don't put too much oil. There we go.
So less oil so they don't float.
Yeah.
Looks like I'm going to be scooping out some oil after this batch.
See that? It's turning.
Alright, per the boss's order, I paused you guys, and I scooped out some oil, put it in that pot, and she's like, see, now they don't roll over. So, don't get carried away on the oil. It makes frying them a lot easier.
Away.
Huh?
You got carried away.
She's being shy again, guys. See, we've already pulled 2 of them off over there, and she's pulling them off. Wrapping them takes the longest.
Hear that?
Oh,
Crispy.
crispy.
Don't burn it.
Don't burn it, and don't get too excited about eating them and burn your mouth either.
True.
Let them cool. Alright guys, if you guys try this recipe, feel free to leave us a comment, let us know how it goes. We're going to try to type in the comments below, and we will try to give you guys the recipe of what we actually roughly followed.
And we put some. We're experimenting.
Yeah, and what's fun about lumpia?
This is a spicy lumpia.
So this is a spicy lumpia. We put in some chili pepper. We put some crushed chili peppers, like what you put on your pizza. Push some of that in it. Put some cayenne pepper. It's kind of a spicy.
It's
but
because we both like.
we both like some spicy, but not ridiculous spicy
Yeah.
where it's, you know, burning your tongue off. Just got a little bit of heat to it, just to make you not eat too many of them. But it's delicious. You guys see our wine in the background. We've got an apple cider, an apple cinnamon, and there's a red grape in the back. So that's another video. All right, bring it back when we're done. All right, so we've got roughly 23 of them cooked so far, and roughly halfway through, less than halfway, over halfway through. But something that we wanted to point out to you guys, if this is your first time trying to fry something, make sure that you let your oil reheat, because there's a couple of these that the oil got too cool and it basically started soaking up the oil instead of frying in the oil. So we're going to have to wait for a minute or two while the oil heats back up, and we are going to finish the last half. All right, folks, we are done. We wound up having 44 of lumpias. Crystal, you had one. What did you think of it?
Oh, I love it so much. I forgot my name. What's my name again?
All right, guys, I hope you try it. Leave us a comment below if you liked it. All right, talk to you later. Bye.